to Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling.
I'll tell you what, we're going to continue our Native American cultural tour of Wisconsin, and we are in God's country about an hour east of the Twin Cities in northwest Wisconsin, and we'll be right back with more of Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling after this.
You got her, everybody. Welcome back to Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling.
I'll tell you what, I mentioned we are in northwest Wisconsin. We are up in what I say God's country. It's
It
just
is
absolutely
beautiful
beautiful up here. We are with the St. Croix Chippewa Indians of Wisconsin. It's one of our cultural tours of Native Americanism here in Wisconsin. We've had some great times so far.
We have.
Cooked
great.
some good, wonderful indigenous foods, and today should be delicious also. We just kind of threw some urbanization into today's version. We're going to be doing some nice little jalapeno poppers. We're honored to have with us Troy Nelson with us here today. Troy?
Hi.
And
Yes.
Troy is the executive chef here for the casino and also...
For the casino.
Yeah, for the
Yeah.
casino.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're the executive chef.
Yes.
And let's talk about a little bit about the casino. You've got specials every day, too, in the evening?
Yep, we have Monday night steak and lobster.
Okay.
We have Wednesday wings. We have our beautiful Friday fish fry.
Oh.
That's outstanding fish. And we have chef specials during the weekends.
Okay.
And our buffet is always open, and it's an abundant buffet.
Boy, don't tell Freddie that. He'll be he'll be there every day.
So
I'll tell you.
we're actually right now. There's 3 counties that absorb the St. Croix Chippewa Indians of Wisconsin. We are in Turtle Lake, and then Danbury also has another great casino up there.
Beautiful casino.
But that's what I understand. It's just an absolutely beautiful
Yes, it
casino.
is.
And I might add, we're with our good friends at NATOW, Native American Tourism Wisconsin. And you can find 4 seasons, just like any place else in the Midwest, right here in the area. And there's 4 seasons to take advantage of each and every one. It's gorgeous country, whether you're skiing, whether you're hunting, whether you're fishing, whether you like to just do a little gaming of your own at the casino, whatever you want to do, look them up. Go to natow.org if you would, please, and look them up. 600 years of indigenous cooking out here in the Midwest by the Native Americans. Wild rice is being harvested right now, and that's where a lot of the natives are right now.
As we speak, yes.
Yeah, as we speak.
Right.
Literally as we speak.
As we speak,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, and the wild rice, you were worried. I brought along the green, the good stuff, the local.
Yes.
And then there's also a darker version.
There's also a patty rice, more commercialized.
Oh,
But this is the good stuff.
Yeah, this is the good
right.
stuff. And here's what I did a little bit earlier, Troy. I took a little bit of the fresh strawberries, and instead of making strawberry shortcake with the sugar, I infused a fresh sage. And if you want to, you can take a little fork and swirl a little bit and do a little tasting. The flavor of it is just amazing, and we're going to use it with a couple of the dishes here. Yeah,
Well, the infusing really makes a big difference on there, especially for the herbs.
It really does.
You know, I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, you did good, sir. You did good.
Yeah, the flavor that sage.
good.
Isn't that amazing?
That's really good.
When I first started, I'm glad there's some left. Let me tell you that.
There might not be. Don't
Yeah,
burn
you
your
may
back.
not become one of yours. But so we're at a powwow right now. The weekend takes place with a nice little powwow here. They have a great youth powwow called the Trails, and the Trails powwow. The young ones from the tribe have been around the world.
They've been in Australia. They've been to.
Wow.
Yeah, they've been abroad.
Yeah.
And it's a nice. They're fantastic little guys, all the way up to 17.
And they do the
18-year-olds.
dancing, the drumming, the whole routine,
They
and they
do.
tour with that.
Yeah, it's a
And what
beautiful
great
dance troupe.
Yeah, what a great opportunity.
That is great. That really,
So
really
we're going
is.
to do some jalapeno poppers right
All
now. We
right.
got to get into some grilling here. We can't.
Okay.
So the grilling today, we're going to take some nice fresh jalapenos, and you've done poppers before in some
Yes.
form or fashion, and I usually bacon wrapped.
The bacon wraps.
I know.
Guilty as charged.
You know, I had some bacon sitting at home, and the wild rice is the star of the show today, so I didn't want to cover it up. But you take a nice fresh jalapeno, and boy, this ain't the right knife that I grabbed here. But you're going to take a nice fresh jalapeno, and all we're simply going to do is we're going to slice it in one side off. We're going to pop out the majority of the seeds, and the seeds is where the majority of the heat comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for the young folks sitting over here to my right, the camera left, we're going to start cooking these poppers, and we're going to get them slow cooked for a long time, because the longer you cook a hot pepper, the less intense the heat.
Right.
So we're going to get those going. And basically what I did is I took wild rice, nice cooked up wild rice. We took walnuts and we took cheese, and I wanted to keep it simple. And I just blended those three together, and all we simply did is we packed in the little poppers, and those are going to go on the grill. We're going to put those indirect on our Phoenix grill. Simple as can be. Now you can mummify them in bacon if you want to. The chef's preferred way.
Yes, that's a good way to think of it.
But today the white rice is the star of the show, so we're going to get those babies going right now. So I'm going to get those on the Phoenix grill over here.
All right. So I've got some ham going on right now, as you can see over here. Just place this on. This only got to take about a couple minutes on each side. Now what I'm going to spray this, moisten this off with, is a little bit of apple cider vinegar and juice, apple cider juice. About 50-50 mixture. And it just adds a good flavor. Obviously, you know, when you're doing ham, we're only going to brown this up about 2 minutes on each side. A lot of people have a tendency to overcook ham all the time.
Maybe we can change his name to Miller.
So you want to have it really nice and moist all the time for that when you're doing there. So always make sure that the ham is nice, cut really nice and thick. Grill it about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. It'll come out excellent. So as you can see, I've already flipped this over.
So are you a smoker? Do you smoke beef and briskets and ribs and stuff like that?
Yes.
Have you dabbled in it?
I dabbled in it.
Merrill, taste a little bit of Merrill's. What type of beef is that, Merrill?
I used a sirloin.
Just a nice little sirloin.
And I smoked this. I smoked this on the green egg, which is really great because I did it about 200 to 225 degrees, and I smoked it quite heavily with some hickory. And believe it or not, a little bit of mesquite. A lot of people don't like the mesquite because it's a little bit too harsh.
Yep.
But the flavor is great. I've done this even on chuck roast. I do it all the time on chuck ice steaks, which happens to be my favorite. And I won't even brown it up. I'll just place it on there, indirect method of cooking. And I'll take it off if I'm doing the steaks and things like this. I take it off about 130 to 135 degrees. So what we're going to do, we're going to infuse the flavor a little bit more on this. So I've got the beef here. I'm going to place this in the skillet.
He doesn't want to get his hands dirty.
Yeah. You know that.
So we're going to do some nice little hors d'oeuvres right now. We're going to do some nice little appetizers, what we're doing. So Merrill's actually going to heat up the beef a little bit. We're going to take the ham steaks and we're going to cube those up in a little bit and add some nice indigenous pineapple.
Yeah.
Because pineapple tastes good with ham. That's the only reason we're doing it. And then Merrill's going to add a little bit of strawberries and, did you say maple syrup?
Maple syrup.
To the ham, yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, does that ever
So we're going to get those going there. We got the poppers going over there. We are with our good friends Troy Nelson here. We're at St. Croix, Chippewa Indians of Wisconsin. Make sure you visit. The next time you come to the area, get to the casino at Turtle Lake and take advantage of some of the great eats over there. Troy, thank you so much for spending time with us. We do appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
Well, welcome back to Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling. We are about an hour east of the Twin Cities. We are in the nice little city of Turtle Lake, part of our good friends at St. Croix Chippewa Indians of Wisconsin. Now, in Barron County alone, they do over $90 million of tourism each and every year.
That's
what a great marketing tool to take tourism. Beautiful. We talked about snowmobiling. We talked about ATVing. Skiing, cross-country skiing, fishing, and hunting. Right now, of course, they're harvesting the wild rice, and this is the wild rice powwow that it's a Friday night. The powwow begins tomorrow and goes through Sunday. The casino's directly behind us here. So if you can go to natow.org, Natow, it's right there in front of the screen, right there, ladies and gentlemen, natow.org, and look up all 11 great tribes of Wisconsin. And visit each and every one. Make it a point.
Oh man, definitely.
We're just about there.
You're freezing to death here. You're talking about snowmobiling. Hey, we want to say hi and shout out to our friends in Tucson, Arizona.
Tucson,
Arizona. Boy, I wish we were in Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah, it would be nice.
109 degrees there.
I'll take it right now. No.
So lately we've been talking about this great little tour of Native American tourism of Wisconsin. We're talking about indigenous cooking. And here in front of me sits a whole pile of great indigenous cooking. We have some wonderful walnuts. We've got strawberries, fresh strawberries, blueberries over here. We talk a lot about the three sisters.
Yeah.
They're inseparable. We have the nice tall stalks of corn that the beans get to spiral up and hold them sturdy. The beans give nutrition to the ground. The beautiful squash lay out flat against the ground. The leaves do in holding the moisture and the morning dew in and creating no weeds in that area. So the three sisters are inseparable. So what I did is I par cooked a little bit of cubed up squash. We took our butternut squash and a good sturdy knife, and what I do is I actually sit and I peel it down the side, snap off the bottom here so it's nice and level, and I'll peel it all off.
Okay.
And this whole tube right here is all pure meat. I mean, that baby's like all
Yeah.
meat, and this right here, this squash represents the top part of that, and that's what's left. So I'll take that home, make a little squash soup. I'll give it to Troy. Where's Troy at? Troy, there you go, big guy.
Hey, see, it's a lot better to have squash than a football thrown at you. You know?
So we have the squash that I just par cooked just till it's tender. The gorgeous wild rice, the green wild rice that's being harvested right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a cold wild rice salad. Let's take a little look at our first of all, our little jalapeno poppers. Those are cooking nice and soft. I guarantee you folks, if you don't like hot peppers, these should be getting milder and milder as they cooked. I conversed with Troy and he agrees, he concurs, the longer you cook a hot pepper, the less intensity you need starches to cool your palate. Now, it's just like casinos and the roulette game. There's always a chance. There's a chance that we may get a hot one or two in there, so I apologize right now.
That has happened.
So we're going to take the nice squash and we're going to place that. This is the best thing I can do to a bowl, and I apologize here. I got a lot to do.
Hey, it works.
I got to move a few of this stuff here. We're going to be in trouble. We're going to take that gorgeous cooked down wild rice. Now the wild rice, it has to be cooked nice and easy with just a little rumbling of heat and slow cook for about 20 minutes to soften up, and don't overcook it, please. Now I have a little white rice.
How about corn?
White corn and yellow corn blended together. I've got beautiful blueberries, so we're going to mix those all inside our salad here. And we're going to get going here. We got the walnuts right here, gorgeous walnuts. Freddie, did you hand shuck and all those walnuts?
Saw me. I was working on those with a hammer.
All last night, right?
Night.
Yeah, with a hammer.
Hey, we have to give a little shout out to our good friends Dan Hartwig, Sundrop Soda. We were at a nice little golf outing yesterday. It was a great time.
Freddie and I did the best.
They were the celebrity beer cart drivers.
We had to follow the beer cart. It was terrible.
So we're going to blend that all together, and we're going to make a nice little beautiful wild rice,
man,
Three
looks
Sisters
good.
wild rice salad. It's going to be absolutely delicious. And here's what the little sauce contains of. Now, rather than adding sugar in the bottom, we're going to take that gorgeous strawberries that's been infused with the sage, and we're going to add that inside of here. And I'm going to dump the juices. I think what I'm going to do is go for the juice.
Oh, that could be good.
So that, I don't want to. Now we do have to add a little vinegar in there, so I chose tarragon. Just a little bit of tarragon vinegar in there, and then some beautiful Wisconsin sunflower oil, all organic sunflower oil. We're going to blend that together. And that's going to be basically our sauce. We're going to get that baby shaken up.
Reminds me of a lava lamp.
It does look good, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think that's going to be enough. I might add a little more along the way. How was your ham, Mr.
Here's
Merrill?
the ham. I've got it already cubed up here. I've got some pineapples. I'm going to mix this all together here, place this right in the skillet, and then we're going to just brown this up a little bit. It'll come out absolutely delicious. There again, I hate to reiterate, but don't overcook ham. I can't believe how many people that overcook ham. You know, ham is just basically, I mean, even if you're doing a whole ham, take it off like 140 degrees.
And those indigenous pineapples.
Those indigenous pineapple. Got those from the pineapple tree. Mix that in there. All right, gonna mix that up. We're gonna pour a little bit of maple syrup on the top of that.
Want some strawberries in there
Yeah,
too?
put some of that over there too.
Well, you know what?
Stir that around.
I think we're good. Ooh, that's
It'll
gonna
be
good.
good. Place that back on the grill.
Get that warmed up again?
Yeah, heat that up just a little bit. The beef is looking absolutely great.
Yeah, the beef is looking good. The jalapeno poppers are looking good. The salad's going to sit and mellow for a second or two. And that's exactly what we're going to do until you folks come back again in about 3 minutes. Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling from our good friends at St. Croix, Chippewa, Indians of Wisconsin, in beautiful northwest Wisconsin. All right.
Welcome back to Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling. It's a beautiful day, isn't it, Freddie?
Oh, baby.
The 46th annual Wild Rice Powwow. And you know, when we talk about powwows, we're talking about events with the good folks, the Native Americans here in Wisconsin. They're always usually open to the public. They're great cultural events that you can learn from them, not just to see the dancing, the drumming, and what goes on in the middle ring here, but all the great eats and all the wonderful vendors. You can take advantage of each and every one. Go to natal.org to learn more. Here's how we're going to present. If I got a second here, and I don't know if I do, what I really wanted to do is add some nice fresh apples, because it's all about the harvest when we talk about being indigenous, and it's all about eating right and eating off the land, and things that are green are good.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've definitely learned a lot since we've done these powwows.
Isn't that the
I
truth?
mean, it's just amazing, the history and everything else. If you follow us along, you're just amazed at everything that I've learned.
And it's all healthy. That's the best part
Yeah.
about it.
When are you going to start eating that?
But I'm not gonna sit and cut up apples in front of you good folks here. But what we're gonna do is we got a nice beautiful bowl, and that's how we're gonna present our Three Sisters wild rice salad. Is ladled right inside of there, and that's got the wonderful strawberries inside of there. Do you need some help, Merrill?
Yeah, why don't you take this
Grab
back?
these off from here.
Yeah, thanks.
Looks like that beef is looking
The
gosh
beef
darn
looks
good.
really good. That was smoked before, 225 degrees. I took that off about 120, 125 degrees. We just heated up again. Used a little bit of barbecue sauce. We got some of the maple syrup on the ham.
The ham is going to be just that. It's
Look
just,
at
it's
that.
just little hors
Pineapple.
d'oeuvres. That's all we're doing is little hors d'oeuvres today. Let's not let that slip off like we did that nice little dish of.
Yeah, right. I talked to a guy in Shawano that just had watched what it goes. I couldn't believe that whole dish just fell right off.
Right out of there.
Now the little poppers, the longer you cook them, the less intense the heat. I overcooked
That's good
these to
news.
make sure that they were hopefully nice and mild. But the wild rice poppers with the cheese and the walnuts, they can't be beat. If you want to mummify them in bacon, that's a great way to do it too, that's for sure. But we simply cooking these indirect on the Phoenix grill. And that's the way I suggest to do it. If you're doing them wrapped in bacon, make sure you cook them for about 35 minutes. Indirect, if they're not wrapped in bacon, if you cook them for 4 to 5 minutes, they're going to have a little more zing to them, of course, give you a little more bite. But the longer you cook a hot pepper, the less intense the heat.
Ooh.
You need
I can't wait to try
those.
those. I'll
Yeah,
be a
me
tester
too.
just
You know,
to
whole
see.
show.
Yeah.
I never got to sample one thing. You know that?
Really?
Here
Yeah.
today, you were snitching a little ham off the table.
We
Not on the
saw ya.
show, I wasn't.
Oh, that's true. You got us on that one. You
Well, we
little
invite
sneak.
everyone to go to maddogandmerrill.com. We invite everyone to go to, of course, natal.org. Take advantage. Almost had one for that.
Oh.
Take advantage of all the great tourism that goes on in the state of Wisconsin with the 11 great tribes. Now, in the near future, you're going to watch a great show that's going to be taped in a couple of weeks. We're going to get up to Madeline Island, where all 11 tribes are going to be gathering for a council meeting up there to Madeline Island. So we're going to go up there. We're going to tape a nice show. We're going to do some nice whitefish. So when you get to see that show, I'm excited as hell
Oh,
to
I
get
know.
up to Madeline Island with the 11 tribes of Wisconsin and tape
It'll
that
be
show.
good, especially whitefish, too.
That's going to be great. It's going to be
That's
a
gonna- that
challenge, but
really
it's
is.
going to be good. We're going to be right back to wrap this baby up. Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling with our good friends at St. Croix, Chippewa Indians of Wisconsin. 600 years in the area of indigenous cooking right here in northwest Wisconsin. Beautiful part of the state. All right.
All right.
Well, it's wild rice powwow time. It's harvest time. It's time to eat. What do you think about that,
It
folks?
is time to eat.
We got the beautiful wild rice stuff in here. We got the wild rice salad. We got some beautiful smoked beef. We got the ham and some jalapeno poppers stuffed with wild rice.
Gonna be a good time. Gonna
Gonna be a
warm us
great
up a little bit.
time. You stay tuned. You watch Mad Dog and Merrill each and every week, and we're someplace always. Take care, folks.
Happy
Say
grilling,
bye, folks.
Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grillin' is a production of Lashbro Visual Communications.